everybody. It's already a lot of people in here. I see y'all talking. Let me see who's in here. Culture the Kid was in here at 2:34 p.m. Eastern. So shout out to you for already being ready to go. Tariva Music, Triple Beats, Tree, Casey Beats, Wolf Beats, Alberto Morello, M7K, Bufo, Consiglius, Lady T, Ben Lupin, Lawrence Reed. Oh my gosh, there's so many of you guys in here already today. Hello. Shout out to y'all for being here and on time and early. I love to see it. We don't have any announcements today, so we can kind of just jump into it. Hi, everyone. I'm Tia. I'm the Music Opportunities Manager here at BeatStars, and I'd love to welcome you to the listening room. So this show was created to highlight the artists that have partnered with us on opportunities for our BeatStars community. If you're unaware of what kind of opportunities we run alongside contests on the platform, we also offer opportunities for you to submit beats to artists, remix their songs, and more. So if you haven't had a chance to check those out, you can head over to www.beatstars.world, hover over the What's New tab, and take a look at both the challenges and opportunities section. You never know what you might be missing. There's a beat submission up right now with Memoria XI, and there's a brand new remix challenge on the way. So don't sleep. Make sure you stay tuned. I'm going to link that for you right here. Today is especially exciting because we're announcing our Double Dutch Remix Challenge winners with Charmaine. She's in the virtual building, and we're going to spend some time getting better acquainted with her. I know you guys have all been waiting to find out who the winners are, but I'm going to make you wait a little bit longer just while we talk to Charmaine first. So without further ado, let's bring the woman of the hour in. Ta-da!
Hey, gang is good.
So thank you for being with us today. Super appreciate you. I know everybody's geeked to talk to you and see who you picked. So,
bro,
how's your Friday going?
Pretty good. Really busy. Got something to do as soon as I'm done this, but I'm ready. I'm excited.
Come on, booked and busy. Let's go. We'll just jump right into it then. I want to start talking to you about how you got started in music to begin with. I know some of your earliest memories involve singing in church, so I'd love to hear if you could speak on that experience.
Yeah, I fell in love with music when I was about 8 years old. My dad plays the piano, and he used to always play the keyboard around the house, and I would watch him. So I eventually I just picked it up by ear. I don't know how to read notes. I can't read notes for shit, but I can play by ear. He started making me sing in church and stuff to kind of polish up my skills. I mean, it didn't work because I eventually stopped, but yeah. And then from there, when I would say I really honestly started taking music seriously was in 2012. My dad lost his job at this time, and then we ended up losing our house. So because we lost our house, we had to go to a shelter. Now the shelter was overcrowded, so they had to put us in like a dirty motel. That wasn't even a shelter; it was so bad. It was me and my three brothers, my mom and my dad sharing one room, no kitchen. It was like a one single hot plate. It was just the worst time, and I hated it so much. So I was like, you know what? I've always dabbled and dabbled in music. Why don't I try to do something with it now to take my family out of that situation? So I ended up going on Facebook. I found a talent show that was happening downtown. And my A&R for Warner Music Canada was supposed to be there. So I was like, okay, I got to try and get into this, because if I can get his attention, clearly that's going to take me where I need to go. So I submitted myself. I did my audition. I sent it in. They hit me back. They're like, yeah, come through, sing, whatever. So I did. I went to the showcase. I was underage at the time. So I had to wait outside of the club, literally, why are you hating outside of the club? You can't even get in, head ass.
Wristband to be like, she's a kid.
It was so crazy, but I waited outside, and then I went on. I did my thing. I sang 1+1 by Beyonce and If I Ain't Got You by Alicia Keys, and then I got off the stage. I got introduced to the A&R, and he and I have been like this ever since. Of course, I took a little break between like 2014 until 2018, just because I felt like I wasn't ready yet to pursue my career as an artist further, just because my writing was pretty mediocre. Wasn't feeling it. So I took 4 years off, and then started back again in 2018 after I had my son. I think it was like a month and a half or 2 months after I started writing again. My A&R is like, "Yo, I got a deal for you," and I'm like, "Say less, bet." And that's what happened.
I think that's really dope, and I think something that maybe isn't highlighted a lot is that you have this dynamic of being a singer, but the music that's been presented to us thus far is you rapping. And I think what's most interesting, like you said, is that you got your career started because you were discovered while singing. So how does being a vocalist actually play into the music that you're able to create today?
Um, Even though people have only heard rap, there's definitely going to be more music where I am singing.
Mhm.
I'm not going to abandon that. That is my first passion, and that's what I did all my life. So I don't feel right just leaving it and not doing anything with it. So you will hear. I would love to do like one day, just do like a whole R&B project. To be perfectly honest, but we'll see what happens.
Yes, ma'am. And let's also talk about the fact that you're based in Toronto, but a lot of people don't know that you grew up in Nashville, right? So
Yeah.
I'd love to talk about that too, just because both cities have a really rich music history and some of the biggest acts in the world have come out of there. And like you're experiencing this twofold. So how has experiencing these cities shaped your artistry, if at all?
Um, I would say in terms of me being in Nashville, that had the biggest impact on my artistry now, because a lot of my influences and a lot of the people that I look up to are Southern rappers or um, artists that I heard on Southern rap songs that I fell in love with, like Lil Jon and the East Side Boys, and Lil Scrappy. You got Lil Boosie, you got Young Jock, all those guys. Like I grew up listening to all of that, and I find that I now draw a lot of my inspiration, and a lot of my sounds and my bounce from that particular genre and era of music. So if it wasn't for me living in Nashville, I don't know if I'd be able to do it.
Yeah, and especially like a lot of people just travel to Nashville too to even get their career started. So to be able to be cemented there to start is a pretty gigantic blessing. You kind of get that kick in the ass really early as far as
Yeah,
right. And
yeah.
yeah, while we talk about these communities that shape you and these artists that shape you, you've mentioned other heavy hitters as well, influencing who you are today, like Missy, Beyonce, Luda, Mace. So aside from these folks being legendary, like game changers with incredible music, I think the similarities between all of those that you mentioned are that they're provocateurs in their presentation. They push the norm, which I think reflects in your music a lot. So what drew you to these artists and how do you find yourself even channeling these energies?
You hit it right on the head. It's definitely the way that they present their artistry.
Mm.
Um, is I love artists that are not afraid to explore outside of the box and do things that people necessarily expect them not doing what people expect them to do, and then showing people like, okay, like, yeah, I may be a rapper, but trust me, I can still be ill with it. I can still be creative with it. I can still play around with the visuals. I can still, and I think that especially for Missy in particular, I would say that's what drew me to her, as well as Beyonce. The visuals, the careful, like they're so meticulous and like carefully calculated. And I love the fact that they take their craft so seriously, and it makes me want to do the same thing. So now whenever I am doing my shows, or I'm recording, or I'm doing a photo shoot, now I ask myself these questions like, what can I do that nobody has done yet? Or what can I do that's different that other people aren't doing right now, that will stand out? And I feel like that's helped me a lot by watching them. I'm now able to apply it to myself.
Yes, ma'am. I think what I noticed with your music is your presentation, and like it's bold, no pun intended. It's it's bright, it's fun, it's in your face.
Yeah,
Like your personal style, your look, you're really expressive with it, and it really works. So,
thank
in
you.
no worries. In another interview you described what being bold meant to you, and you were talking about being unapologetically yourself. And I think that's something a lot of people need practice on, you know, and we don't necessarily hear that more like shy or timid side of you where you weren't unapologetically yourself within your music just because you flow confidently. But I'm curious to know, what are some of the ways that you practice loving yourself unapologetically, and what do you think it does for your ability to kind of like show yourself to the world down to how you're delivering your music?
I would say once I got to the point of realizing that like I can't make everybody happy. Everybody else doesn't matter. The only person that matters is myself, and it's okay to be selfish. It's okay for me to do what I want whenever I want. Like, who said I couldn't? You know. So for me, like that's where I started, and as soon as I like that clicked in my head, it was over with. Like I don't really. I'm the type of person where it's like people could talk as much as they want about me, and I really could give a fuck. I couldn't give a fuck less. Like, you know what I mean? I'd probably laugh at the jokes or, you know, just block everybody. I don't know. Depends how I feel that day. But like the things don't bother me anymore. I got to a point where I know like I'm super dope. I'm fly as hell. I'm talented. I'm doing a lot of amazing things for myself and a lot of big things for myself. And I should be proud of myself. I should be happy with myself. So yeah, that's pretty much how I approached it.
No, I think that's a great point. Like the switch between like the shyness or the insecurity really lies, like you have to do it yourself. Like your friends can gas you, your family can gas you, your fans can gas you, but like at the end of the day, you have to be the one to be like, oh, okay, no, like this is not, something's not clicking. It has to be me.
Exactly.
So I think even speaking of the things that are really cool that are happening to you and you doing really well, and also speaking of bold, that was your debut single, and now it's being used in a campaign in the Real Canadian Superstore. So how does it feel to like turn on, you know, the television or social media and know that at any given time there's thousands of people like hearing the track at the same time? What does that feel like for you?
It hasn't registered yet. Like I can't I can't for the life of me grasp it. It feels very surreal. It feels like I'm gonna wake up from the dream any moment. But all I can do honestly is just bask in the moments that these things are happening and just pray that it lasts and hope for the best. But like it's crazy. It's crazy. I can't believe that I was just this little like regular 5-year-old little African girl coming from Zimbabwe in 2000, and now in like 2021, a bitch is taking over the rap game. You know what I'm saying? Like, period. But it's crazy.
Talk your shit, queen. Man, I think your career has been flowing and highlighted so beautifully, especially in the past year. Like you've had some incredible experiences. You interviewed with Fat Man Scoop, who's a freaking legend. You have billboards all over Toronto. You're the only Canadian selected for a SoundCloud Accelerator program, which is crazy. So like given these experiences and understanding that, you know, it hasn't really sunk in for yourself yet, but how have you been able to celebrate your successes thus far? Like what do these things ultimately mean to you?
I would say I haven't gotten to celebrate the way I would like to, in a sense, just because, you know, COVID has been wild. So like we couldn't really gather. My mom is super duper high risk when it comes to her medical conditions and things like that. So like I really couldn't celebrate as much as I want to, but in the instances that I could, you know, all I did was just link up with my brother, you know, and my homegirls and his friends, and we just like pop bottles and roll a shum, uh, and just like play music and really soak in the moment of like, wow, this is crazy. Look how far we've come, you know. So it's either that or I'm at home watching Netflix eating Captain's Boil, which is always fun too, you know. So
You ate Captain's Boil?
Captain's Boil, pop. Yo, them snow crab legs. Oh, delectable, bro.
No, I'm excited that you've at least found like smaller ways to enjoy it, and I hope that you get the big like bottles in the club sign and the fireworks
Yo,
as we crawl out of our fourth wave here in Toronto. But leaning into your music a little bit, or a little bit more, I should say, you recently released the deluxe version of Hood Avant-Garde. So for someone who may be prepping to hit play for the first time, what is Hood Avant-Garde and why is the title so fitting?
Hood Avant-Garde is a project that redefines what it is to be like the modern Renaissance woman, that boss, the woman who does what she wants, when she wants, how she wants, doesn't care about nothing else. She's boasty, she's arrogant. She's definitely a little snippy with the tongue and the bars a little bit. But it's ultimately it's just a world full of such amazing sound. The one thing I could say about this project is I love the production, and I feel like between the story of it being what I used to redefine what it meant to be a modern day Renaissance woman, instead of being a man in the forefront, it's a woman. On top of that, the beats are boppity bop bops. They all bang. Not one of them doesn't smack. You know what I'm saying? So you might wanna turn up the bass and turn the volume all the way up because them bitches be bumping, bro. Don't play with me. Stop.
I think what's really exciting about your music too is or what's been presented to us of your music thus far is we really get to just hear you talk your shit and gas yourself up. And I think what's so special about that is those are the tracks that people want to hear when they're getting ready to turn up with their girls. Those are the tracks that people want to listen to when they're feeling down in the dumps and just need a little more energy. So yeah. In all of this, do you feel like you were able to encapsulate who you are through this project?
Oh, 100%. 100%. Each one of my songs fits my life perfectly. I have an occasion for each one of them. And it was definitely strategically planned that way. So you definitely get a little bit of everything of who Charmaine is with that project.
Amazing. And also on there, you've got some fire collaborators, Havaya Mighty, who's also from Toronto. If y'all don't know, check her out. Callie, who's blowing up, especially because of TikTok. And then Valentino, which is super crazy. So what is it like to work with artists who range across different genres and generally have different subject matter? How does that link into the music that you're creating?
Oh, it was so fun. See, I didn't get to experience it as the way I would have liked to, linking up and going to the studio and being there in a space together because again, it's a pandemic. So it was really cool just waiting to hear what everybody was gonna do on it because I know everybody has their own style, and the way that I picked who would be a part of what, or the way I decided who would be a part of what was based off of those styles. So I was really eager to hear what somebody else could do to something that I created. So I had a blast.
That sounds amazing. And then let's also talk about the song we used for the remix challenge, which is Double Dutch, and particularly the music video. I know you've already made reference to wanting things to stand out, but I think it was such a funny, playful video, and it's so very much in line with the work that you've already put out. So let's talk about the costume. Basically the costume that's on your album cover and also you use in the video as your portrait. So what was it like on set that day and getting ready and turning something it was such a big production? So what was that like for you?
Okay. The corset dress definitely whooped my ass. Well, I should say my upper area. Okay, I could not for the life of me tuck them things in I could not get them in there. I was trying everything. I'm trying to shake them in, tuck them in, and it's just not working. And I was just okay, you know what? Y'all just don't have to look at it. But even though it was a little bit intricate, it was fun.
Yeah.
And I think because my team is so collaborative, everybody has a really good sense of who I am. So whenever we do things, it's almost we all are thinking the same thing without even saying it out loud, and then just watch it all come together. So I really enjoyed that process.
That's great. It sounds like you've got a lot of synergy. The thing about the corset, you watched Cinderella with Brandy and Whitney, right?
Oh, impossible. Yes.
Yes, you know the scene when the sisters are like getting ready for the ball and they're trying to tuck them into the corsets? That's what it was doing. But it looks so incredible.
That's exactly how it was. Like, I had to hold on to like the side of the wall, like the half wall that was there, and like lean forward while my stylist was like yanking, and while the other my makeup artist was like tugging the titties, and then my hairstylist was trying to get it was a lot. It was a mess.
No, but it was all worth it because it looks so beautiful and like
thank you.
It's a very contemporary piece. I mess with it a lot. And then another track is about to get a music video. I don't know how much you want to share about that, but maybe you could share a little something about what's coming.
Oh, I definitely do have another video dropping. I might get in trouble for this, so if I do, I'm gonna blame all of you guys.
You won't.
Okay, but I'm dropping the official video to Anima Nera on September 1st, featuring Valentino. So I'm super duper excited about that. That one was really fun to shoot, and it came out so cool.
See that? I think that's gonna be a really fun video, and like, it's not like a far pivot from what we've already seen or heard from you, I should say. But I think it'll shake things up a little bit for you, so that's pretty cool.
Definitely.
And then while we talk about videos, you're not only on camera for interviews and music videos, but you use TikTok a lot. And I love TikTok. I love that a lot of people are using it to debut music, and you are too in this way. But my favorite part about it is your acting. I think you are so hilarious.
Oh, thank you.
I think you have a very promising career ahead of you as an actor. I just want to know, like, what made you want to utilize TikTok in this way? Because it's traditional in the sense of like what we're getting from people as far as creativity goes, but it's not necessarily something that artists are honing in on, like this fun part of it.
Okay, so I saw that everybody was hopping on the TikTok wave. And like I knew I wanted to do something on it, but I wasn't sure. And for like I had my TikTok account for like 2 years, and I was doing it sporadically, like very, very inconsistent, very right? So, but then when like quarantine everything happened, and I was trying to figure out like, okay, what can I do that'll up my engagement and like also show people a little bit more of my personality and what I can do other than like making music. Mm-hmm. And I've always been a weirdo. And I grew up like I'm the only girl. My brothers would always be outside. I was never allowed to go anywhere. So I'd always be in my room watching like That's So Raven reruns and like acting them out. So I was just like, you know what? Let me try a little something. When I came across Jason Banks' comedy, his content is hilarious, and it had me in tears. And I was just like, okay, let me try just one and see how it comes out. And everybody loved it. So I was like, okay, bet. Now I'm running with that train.
Yeah, I like every time you post your TikToks where you're I don't even know what it is. You're doing the voiceovers for this character. I think even like your facial expressions, I'm just like, holy smokes! Like I'm so what you've got going on over there, and I think it's hilarious.
Thank you.
So then, also you're presenting yourself very soon. For those of you who are in Toronto or the GTA that are watching today, you're also you're set to perform your first live show at Manifesto. For those of you who know, Manifesto is a very historical, youth culture driven festival that happens every year in Toronto, and it's generally based on conferences and then this very large festival at the end of it. So what can we expect from that performance, and how do you feel about finally getting on the stage?
First of all, I am absolutely ecstatic. Like I feel like, you know, like when you're like 5 and your mom tells you you're going to Disneyland in like 3 days, and then you're just like standing by the window with like your backpack just ready to go, like just waiting, like that's how I feel right now. And all I can say is expect the same type of energy that y'all be seeing on the gram, hearing in the music, seeing in the interviews. It's definitely mad turned up. The band is bananas. Everything is crazy. So I can't wait. I can't wait for everybody to see it. I'm excited. So excited.
I am so excited to see it. I cannot wait, and I just know that you're gonna like shut down the stage. So I'm very much excited. And then let's talk about the future. Like, what do you have coming? More music? I know you said more videos, maybe some TikToks. Like, what can we expect to see from you in like the next few months?
Definitely, definitely more music. More videos. Definitely, I should be dropping, a couple of visuals before the year is done. Um, definitely more shows. A lot of really cool announcements are coming up. I can't say what they are yet because like I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to get sued. I'm not rich quite yet.
No way to
but like yeah, we got a lot of really cool announcements coming up, and I'm really excited for everybody to see what we've been working on and what I've been working on. But that's all I can say for now without giving too much away.
I'm linking your Instagram in the chat here so y'all can follow her because I know all of your announcements touch your Instagram at some point. So follow Charmaine on Instagram, 2_ there. Follow and keep up with her. I'm really excited for you, and I think that you just need to look. Somebody said we already follow. I love that. That's what you're energy that we want to hear.
Bang in the building.
I'm excited for you to be so like front facing and just like continue to be yourself in this process and just enjoy it too. And I genuinely hope that you find the opportunity to really celebrate and be celebrated the way you deserve for your hard work. You've come a very long way, and you should be proud of yourself, and you should be celebrating yourself as much as possible. So I'm really excited. But to jump into the Double Dutch Remix Challenge, I want to go through your picks from third place to first. We'll go in that order.
Okay.
But I want to know, like, what was your experience filtering through these submissions, and what were you over?
Oh my God. Okay, first of all, I don't know who told all these people to make such amazing remixes because I was so mad that I could only pick 3 people because I would tell you from now, I had at least 15 people that I would have given the prize to. 15, like no cap. I was like, bro, like I can't even lie. It was so hard. But I did have fun listening to everybody's interpretations of my record, and I think that I was listening for 2 things. I had like 2 things of criteria. I would say. The first one was like, if you were gonna stick to the original format of the record, I wanted to hear something that didn't sound anything like what the original sounds like. Right? I wanted to see like what kind of record, like play with the genre, like play around with the sound, slow it down, speed it up, all that stuff. You know what I mean? And then like the second thing was, if you weren't gonna stick to the original, I wanted to see who wasn't gonna stick to the original format. Who was gonna, take it an extra step further and chop it up and rearrange the vocals and make a whole new song with that track. So I'm pretty confident in who I chose. I love them. They did an amazing job, and I can't wait to let them know.
Yeah, man. I think we got so many submissions, and I think there were so many variations and sounds and experiments with the genre, and I really have to tip my hat to everybody who really tried to go as far outside the box as possible, because Double Dutch is such a distinctive sound. Like once you hear it once, it's in your head for the rest of the day. So
Yeah.
to be able to separate yourself from what you already know to be true as far as how the song exists, it's like a gigantic feat. And I think something I had said to you earlier too is like some people have not had the experience of trying to build a beat around an already existing vocal.
Yeah.
A lot of our BeatStars community, they're at the starting point of the creation where they're trying to make somebody else put their vocals on the track, right? So I think everybody did such an incredible job. Our CEO Abe is in the chat. He just dropped the peace signs. Hi, Abe. So I guess without further ado, I'm going to share the winners page, and we'll go from third place to first, and we'll play a little bit of each, and maybe you can just tell me what you loved about that particular choice, if that's cool.
Okay.
So go ahead and share the screen. And switch our format a little bit. All right. So your third place winner, congratulations to it's Itchy Bitch, which is a interesting name. So Itchy is receiving $500 cash, 3 months free of BeatStars Unlimited account with a pro page, $50 worth of BeatStars merchandise, and $100 worth of the BeatStars advertising credit. So let's play a little bit, and then we'll hear from Charmaine why this was a pick. And if you guys are in here, please like make yourself known. Drop a comment in the chat so we can tag you up on the screen here. We would love to be able to say hello while you're in the room. You feel me? All right. So I don't know why this is doing this to my screen. Sorry, guys. I just noticed that my screen was overlapping. Or anyway, here we go.
Tea, gold, pricey, product, 3 phones, still can't holler. These hoes got them bothered, cause I'm built like this. Damn, haven't said when I float with these hits. Oh, I get an itch when the money about to hit. Hypoallergenic, I'm immune to a bitch. Oh, you think you shake, I'm sick off. You can say the plot got thick off, right? Homie got more staff than skin off. I say jump on my bitches up front. Double dutch, double dutch, double dutch, double dutch, double dutch. I got that company. If you want beef, they gon' serve you a plate, girl. Wait, man, you know you plant based. Miss Heidi caught a body, then we packed you away. It's a rap, call it quits, yeah. You gon' need a genie and a wish, cause damn, shoulda never ever ring your lips like that. When I say jump, all you bitches fall back. This make me wanna walk out, oh bitch. Pop, lock, and hit, crank the.
Okay, I'm going to stop it there because I don't want to run out of time, but I'd love to hear about why this was the third place contender for you.
Okay, first of all, I'm a huge fan of Afro House, Afro Swing, Afro Beat, whatever you guys will want to say, call it. I'm Southern African, to be honest. I'm from Zimbabwe, which is in South Africa. So this one really stuck with me. It was very catchy, and when you hear it like on the speakers, the way the bass goes boom, 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 like it just like my whole house was vibrating, and I was like, but yeah, that's why I really love the way that he played with the sounds. Again, he changed the genre and gave me something different that I didn't do myself. You know what I mean? And why am I saying he or she? I don't even know if this is a girl or guy. To be perfectly honest, guys, so ignore how I just said that. How wrong. But yeah, I really love the sounds, the bass, the drum patterns. It really awoke the African in me, and I loved it.
Well, there you have it. I think that's in-depth description and reasoning, and I think that's great. I wish that we could play this not over a stream so everybody could hear exactly what you're talking about. But congratulations to Itchy. Congratulations on being a third place winner. All right, so next, Doug Chizza. The second place winner. They will be receiving $1,000 in cash, 6 months free of a BeatStars Unlimited account with a pro page, $75 worth of BeatStars merchandise, and $150 worth of BeatStars advertising credits. So let's get into this one a little bit.
Red, cold, icy, water, tea, gold, pricey, product, 3 phones, still can't call up. These hoes got them bothered, cause I'm built like this. Damn, haven't said when I float with these hits. Oh, I get an itch when the money about to hit. Hypoallergenic, I'm immune to a bitch. Oh, you think you fake, I'm sick of. You can say the plot bitch. Pop, lock, and hit, crank the wig off her chick. I'm the type of bitch that crank the.
Wow. And Dub Cheese is in the building and watching right now. So congratulations to you.
What's good, Dub Chisholm? Congrats. That shit is hot. I love it.
Why did you pick this for second place?
Honestly, I'm a huge fan of reggaeton and like like Brazilian southern booty popping music. And as soon as that one started playing, it made me want to dance, made me just want to and and the drums, the way that the drums were placed, the patterns, everything was so crazy. I was like, okay. You might have did something with that one. I actually might end up, sampling that or something for a show, a live show or something, a little remix. Throw it in there. No cap.
Wow, amazing.
I'm thinking about it.
I think your selections have been very diverse so far as far as sound goes, and what you were saying about everybody trying to, switch it up or do something different. I think the last two, or these two winners, really did that. So Dub Chisholm says, thanks, Charmaine, you're fire.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
Hey, without further ado, I guess we could hit a little drum roll. Maybe I can...
Let's go.
Hey. First place winner of the Charmaine Remix Challenge. So you are going to get a shout out from Charmaine. You guys are going to get to hook up on Zoom to do a session, $2,000 in cash, 1 free year of the BeatStars Unlimited Pro page, a custom Pro page design, $100 worth of BeatStars merch, $200 worth of BeatStars advertising credits. We're going to blast you all over our socials and share with our BeatStars community, and we'll hit you up on Instagram Live to interview you about your process. Really wish you could have joined us today, but I think this winner lives in Australia, so it's like 5 a.m. right now.
Yeah, I know.
So let's give this a run.
Okay.
So everyone can hear. We can play the whole
I say jump on my bitches up front. Miss Heidi caught a body, then we packed you away. Dutch, Dutch, Dutch. Double cup, cup, cup. Double up. Double what? What? Dutch, 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 Dutch. Double cup, 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 cup. Double up. Double what? These hoes got 'em. These hoes got 'em. These hoes got 'em. These hoes got 'em. Dutch, Dutch, Dutch. Double cup, cup, cup. Double up. Double what? Dutch, 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 Dutch. Double cup, 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 cup. Double up. Double what? Wrist cold, icy, water, tea, gold, pricey, product, 3 phones. Dutch, double cup, double up, double what? Dutch, double cup, double up, double what? I'm the type of bitch that crunk the wheels off your shit.
That was that. Okay, so after you, Queen.
For this one, that little voice sample that they added in there. Okay, first of all, I always wanted to do a dubstep type track. Okay, I really want to do that, and that's definitely on the list. I'm gonna do it still. But I always wanted to hear what I would sound like on one, and then when I heard this one, I was like, yo, this is kind of hard. And I listened closer, and the more I listened to it, the more things I started to notice, like that vocal sample that they put in the background, and just little things like adding that in made it just like I just wanted to keep blasting it. And again, with the bass, I'm obsessed with bass. Anything that has heavy, like drowning in like subwoofer and 808 is my shit. So definitely love it.
Yeah, I think the fun thing about the remix challenge is like obviously what you guys are looking for in terms of winners can differ, but I think what helps people stand out is really the ability to play with the tools that they're given. So obviously, yes, this Ultraviolet Gang did what they needed to do with the beat, but there's no rule that says you can't chop up the acapella. And I'm really excited that Ultraviolet Gang played with it. And I mean, that's not something that I'm necessarily saying in all remix challenges going forward, y'all need to chop up the vocal, but definitely explore testing the waters with what you have and trying to make something different. So I think it was a really great first pick. What do you anticipate your session with Ultraviolet Gang looking like? What are you excited about for that?
Oh, I'm excited. I have an idea already of the kind of song I'd want to make, the kind of record I want to make.
Yeah.
And I honestly think that it's gonna be really, really fire. I'm not gonna say much. I'm the type of like I don't like to spoil surprises. And especially because I haven't done it yet. But once I have it in the bag, I'll talk a little bit more about it. But I do have an idea and I think it's gonna be like crazy. Yeah. If I can make it, if I can bring it to life the way that I'm calculating up here, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what comes with that session. You are the first artist we've had do a remix challenge and offer such an incredible opportunity, and I'm really excited for Ultraviolet Gang to be able to work with you and you know, hopefully we have this thing we do called Made on BeatStars where we share the music that comes from our creators. So I'm looking forward to the day that we're able to showcase that collaboration. I'm really excited.
That would be really cool.
Yes, I'm really excited. So with that being said, I feel like we're at the tail end of our interview here. I'm just wondering, I have two more questions before we jump off. One, I want to know what piece of advice did you receive that has stuck with you the most since you started your artistry that you think you might be able to apply to, you know, our viewers and our community?
I would say everything comes in its time. It's something that has really stuck with me, and I try to keep in mind on a daily basis. Because sometimes as human beings, of course, like we have plans and we want to make certain things happen and we want them to happen like right now at that second. But I learned that like sometimes it could take you 2 years to get to the place that you want to get to. That gives you that 1 year where like your entire life changes. So it's okay to like to just chill out and let the universe and God do his thing and work everything out for you. That's what I would say. Just patience.
And then something I always ask when we do interviews is, what is like one tool that you think everybody should tap into, or a tool that helped you, you know, grow as an artist or just as a person? Like it could be a book, it could be a plugin, it could be a YouTube channel. Like what is something that you would turn to as a piece of like education to better yourself?
Definitely, I watch a lot of music documentaries. Whenever I feel like I need a little bit of extra motivation or like extra inspiration, I'll go watch. One of my favorite one is Life is But a Dream by Beyonce. I always watch like documentaries like that, and then it helps me like recenter my focus and remember what the ultimate goal is. Yeah. And yeah, that's pretty much how I approach it.
A great tool. I love interviews and documentaries, especially when it comes to artists that I don't typically listen to on a regular day. You learn a lot. Yeah. I think one of my favorite ones actually was Lady Gaga, and I was like, oh, I had no idea. You can respect her as an artist, like just looking at her, but when you see everything that really goes into it, down to like how she has to navigate her health, really, really interesting. So thank you for saying that. And I ask because we have so many educational opportunities for our community, and I think just them being able to hear everybody's pieces of what makes them great, hopefully somebody can take something from that and apply it to themselves. So hopefully you guys get something from that.
All right. I hope so.
Any final words, basically, from you? Anything else you want to let the people know? I'm going to tag your Instagram again because you should already be following her, but here it is.
Honestly, I just want to thank everybody who submitted. Like, that was insane. I even going through like my Instagram tagged photos or like tagged posts, endless remixes, and I was so blown away. And I really appreciate everybody for being a part of this and for wanting to take a stab at creating something with my artistry. So thank you guys, and hopefully I'm gonna do this again. You never know, and then it'll be bigger prizes next time. Okay.
Maybe along the lines of your next release. So I just want to shout out again Ultraviolet Gang, Dub Chizza, and It's Itchy Bitch for your submissions and all of your hard work. If you want to check out those winners, you can head over to charmaine.beatsstars.com/winners. Everything, including the prize information, is updated there. And make sure you stay tuned for whatever can potentially come from Charmaine and Ultraviolet Gang. We're looking forward to hearing that collab. Wishing you the best of luck at Manifesto. Best of luck with your video release. I'm so excited for you, and just stay safe out there. That's pretty much the thing.
Oh, definitely. I'm gonna be safe AF. I cannot die. My mama would kill me. So yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, shout out to y'all for hanging out in the chat with us and being such great hosts with me today, and for your patience, for all of your hard work and your submissions. Same to y'all. Stay safe, wash your hands, social distance, all of the above. See you next time on the listening room, guys. Later.
Bye.